Hello and welcome to NNN News, the only unbiased, unfiltered, unplugged news podcast. Your favorite bi-weekly podcast where we cover recent events as well as a current deep dive into more obscure topics. Lately, we've been moving towards a focus on some of our own sites here. I'm joined as always by my friend and co-host, the lovable, often imitated, rarely capitulated Neva Croft. Say hello, Nev.
Good day, journalists, friends of journalism, allies of journalism, and stupid idiot non-journalists. Today we're here to bring the news again in a real ravenous and raw podcast. We hope you all enjoy watching at home.
Now tell me, now, is this your first time being live here on the live stream?
I believe so. I don't believe I've ever taken part in a live event like this before. It's a truly monumental kind of event. The only other time I can think of is the election live stream. But other than that, it's not like a live show like this.
Now, can I ask you here?
So,
What are your emotions going into this live show here? Are you afraid, or how are you feeling?
a, a journalist is never afraid when they're about to preach the truth. I feel enlightened, spirited, and ready to teach.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Now we have a few stories. You've been kind enough to actually go through here and collect some of these stories for us tonight. So let us not dilly dally any longer. Let's start with the first story. Now, Nev, from this first story, correct me if I'm wrong. This is from your sister or cousin or a
Yes,
close
my oldest
family
sister,
relative of
Amelia.
some kind. Yeah,
Yes.
I'll just read the headline for you guys. Renowned GMH lawyer is the master's victim of what this looks like police
Oh,
brutality. Can you go into depth and explain to people what's going on here, Nev?
I
What
think I should say latest victim, but
what does it say on there?
so essentially, I think that says masters. I don't know,
I
but
thought that was a little odd. Yeah, I was confused by that.
essentially, what has happened here is it's a terrible scenario. So my sister is a lawyer. She works at Globe Media Holdings and so on in the legal
And a lot
department.
of people have asked. A lot of people ask about Globe Media Holdings. We're not this big scary corporation. We're just like any other friendly corporation. That sort of keeps track of news. I don't think we're any different in that regard, right? Like, do you have
Exactly.
anything that you would say to anybody who maybe is afraid of Globe Media Holding, afraid of our growing power and influence?
All I would say is don't be afraid. Embrace us. We are here to help and
Yeah.
protect you.
All I will say is, fear will do nothing for you. There's nothing you can do to fear us will stop us here. But let's get further into depth in the story here. So, is your sister okay? How is she doing now? You know, how is she making it through this awful experience here? And we're finally gonna get the link out to some of you people here. We're gonna go live here. Never, are you
So,
here?
when it comes to this norm,
Yeah,
hello, comrade,
yeah.
can you hear me?
I can hear you. Okay, we're good.
Okay, I had a bit of interference there.
Are,
So
are
essentially,
you
what has
are you
happened
okay?
with yes, I don't, I'm guessing the Russians have caught wind that I'm started again.
Yeah, we're gonna have to tell everybody we're live. I don't think people know we're live right now.
Yeah, to let people know that we're live, and then we should be all ready to
We, we,
preach the
we're
news
ready to
to the
preach
good
the news now,
folks.
Nev. If you want to go through this story here, that you now correct me if I'm wrong. Did you were you involved in writing this story or recounting her story, or was it basically just she went right to the source here? Oh,
So with this,
oh no.
I've I have provided an eyewitness testimony myself as to what I
Uh huh.
witnessed. When all this transpires, it's a very kind of frightful thing. I mean, I was in the office when this happened. I got the call.
Wow.
So my sister has a bit of a problem with anger management.
And there's just been
So
a.
what happened is, in one time at the office, I think she slapped a colleague or something. So she got put on temporary leave and had to attend classes. And apparently, so I got the call and was told by the police that she had assaulted her anger management teacher. So I didn't believe this at all. I mean, Amelia is a
Well, it's
delicate and
hard.
gentle
It's
spirit.
hard to believe.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot envision my sister doing anything wrong. I mean, yeah, sure, she might have issues. She might like hit me sometimes and throw things at my head when
Yeah,
things
but like
don't
that.
go her way. But
That's a strong, empowered woman. I mean, if you ask me, Nev,
exactly,
there's nothing wrong with a woman who, knows her strength. So she.
yeah, I just see it as I mean, everyone gets angry a few
Oh,
times.
sure.
I
Okay,
mean,
so you're telling me that she So she had this little incident with her anger management teacher. It wasn't even a big deal. It basically didn't even happen, correct? And
Yes.
now you're telling her the police came and they shook her down. Would you say that's an accurate recounting of what happened here?
Yeah, so essentially she struggled, and so I mean she didn't do anything wrong, so why should she be arrested? And they knocked her over, and she grazed her elbow,
Did you
got a
tell?
nasty
Oh my
bruise.
gosh, is she okay?
I have spoken to her. I'm the only person that she's been in contact with since being held in police custody against her will. And so yeah, I've been trying to keep in touch. New Hat from the Discord server, he told me to tell her that he loves her.
Yeah, just be careful.
I did, and she didn't know who he
I
was.
was
She
just say,
forgot
I was
his
just gonna
name.
say, yeah, just be careful with New Hat in the Discord server. I know he has a habit of, you know, we don't need to get into that right now.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a crazy story though. I mean, this is, and I will say, everybody here, go to cinchnews.com right now to read this whole story because we don't even have time to go in depth on all this. But oh my, free Amelia, for sure, free
I
Amelia.
mean, if you read New Hat's witness testimony, New Hat was there at the
New Hat
scene.
was there.
He wa New Hat
What was
was
New Hat
there.
doing
Yeah,
there?
have a read it.
Wasn't there a restraining order?
New Hat. I don't think New Hat has a restraining order. I think I
Let's see.
haven't read his witness
Yeah,
statement
it
myself.
says.
If you
You want me
read
to
it
read it
out,
here? I'll read it here on air. It says,
yeah,
uh,
read his witness testimony.
this is from New Hat He Him on the Discord server, who claims to be the boyfriend of Amelia, though Amelia has not been able to confirm or deny this. New Hat says, and I quote here: Amelia and I were basically a couple. I've only known her for a few days,
Wow,
but in that time, I feel like our souls have bonded. Yeah, in form, they had this connection for sure. You know, other than chasing her after Darren from accounting, uh, we are in a long-term committed relationship. I didn't know that, Dev. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. This is news to me.
News to all of us, it seems, New Hat. Oh, about the crime. I was following her around, making sure she was safe. Okay, like I normally do. Good. Good to see that she has some people out there protecting her. She got
Yeah, that's
into,
responsible
yeah,
behavior.
that's totally. She got into a cherry red Tesla, like she had always does on the weekdays, morning after anger management classes. As she was about to walk in, a male walked out and refused to hold the door for her. Did you hear that?
That's disgusting.
I mean, this
That's
is
despicable. Why? Why would anyone do that?
okay.
That's so sexist.
So let's see what happened next. So she refused to hold the door for a gray. Okay. Apparently she scratched the guy's eye. There was some big
That doesn't
fuss.
sound like Amelia.
Apparently Amelia scratched New Hat too. New Hat apologized though, which is good. Something about hit him with a stool. Extremely rude. She is beautiful. She deserves to be documented. Please come by. And apparently, this guy tries to prove that Amy had done something wrong, which I don't even know how. You know, how do you prove a negative?
I don't even think you can, Norm. I think that these people don't know what they're doing. They're not qualified.
Yeah, these fucking. And apparently, these racist cops came in, and they were giving being real rough with Amy. You know, they had forgotten that she was a journalist and that she needs to be treated with respect as a lawyer too. You know, those are two of
Yes.
what should be the most well-respected professions to ever exist. Yeah, wow, that's a powerful story, and she's doing all right now. She's doing all right,
Um,
or how is she?
I'm slightly concerned. I mean, a delicate flower like Amelia in prison. I mean,
She's going to be in
I just
prison
can't.
for how long? Do we know?
I don't know. She got charged guilty of assault.
Assault.
Yeah. So by the
But
looks of
she's
it,
on a
it's
low
not.
sodium diet, Nev.
I don't know. It's so difficult, Norm. It really is. Like I don't know what we're gonna do. So I've contacted Lindsay. I've
You know,
told my dads.
you've been having a lot of trouble with the ladies lately. I mean, first, um, what's her name? Vanessa. Is that did I get the
Yeah,
name right?
Vanessa, my girlfriend. Yeah, they friend. Should I
Oh, you
say they
guys are still
friend?
dating. Okay. Yeah, first thing happened with
What was that,
Vanessa,
Norm?
and
Are
then
you jealous?
and then obviously this thing happens with his sister. No, I was just saying it really sucks, man. I'm really sorry to hear that all this
Oh,
crap.
I'm just, I've been getting the sense that you've been jealous of me and Vanessa.
No, me and Vanessa have a pretty good thing going on at this point. So. You know, we text every now and then.
Excuse me.
You know, I mean, that's with text. She sends me pictures sometimes. You know, for leaves and all
What?
that.
Since when were you in contact with Vanessa Norm? You haven't told me this.
I didn't think it was any of your business.
I mean, well, yeah, Vanessa is they friend.
Do you own
I
Vanessa?
mean,
Are you a slave owner?
no, of course not. I'm not a white
So
person. I'm raceless.
what's your problem here, Nev?
Well, you know, it's just I've not accepted
Were you a
the
colonialist?
No,
Oh,
no.
you're sounding
It's
like a
just
colonialist to me, Nev. Just accept
it's
it.
just I haven't
Just accept it and
reached
move on.
I'm not a polygamist, Norm. I'm not sure I want to share my they friend.
Experts say black people should get a higher stimulus. Here's why. We say yes, Queen. Another Cinch News article. I'm happy Cinch News is making a comeback. Have you heard about the Cinch News comeback, Nav?
Yeah, so they've put out a few recent articles, I think towards the end of last year, and a couple of new ones this year,
Yes, and
if I may so believe that.
if I can give you a little inside scoop from the newsroom here, guys, I can guarantee Cinch News is going to be releasing more and more articles as they can, essentially. We are trying to get it seems like they're trying to get as much out here. And I actually might end up writing a couple articles for Cinch News again here. This is another great article. This is about this is something that's been floated by a few political scientists, a few of these sort of very techie analyst guys. People are saying that we should have some sort of preferential stimulus for African Americans, and I think it's a great idea. I mean, what do you think, Nev?
I think that is an excellent step in the path to
I mean,
equality.
what a way to
So
encourage equality other than giving black people. Yeah, this is going to be fantastic, right?
exactly. I mean, it's essentially a form of reparations, and I think that we should be applauding that. Obviously, not by clapping, by jazz hands, but yeah, I think that only a racist would
Only a racist.
deny and
This
object
is
to
this
such
is
a
just
wonderful
this
thing.
is a simple way of making up for this racist, sexist, homophobic, bigoted system we have. We need to even the playing field, with these stimulus checks. Did you know, and this is a true fact, Nev, that 7 out of 10 black men born in the last decade are expected to be in jail by July of 2025? Yet,
Wow.
only 6 out of 7 of them got a stimulus check in jail. Can you believe that?
I mean, that's wrong. I mean, we should be giving all of these POC stimulus checks, no matter where they are.
And
If they're in
to
jail,
make
if
things
they're
worse,
outside the
make things
country, it
worse,
doesn't matter.
well, you see that number. You also get 1 in every 1,000 businesses is black owned in 2027. Can you believe it's going to be that low?
I mean, there's still work to be done. Perhaps we need to be putting sanctions on
Should
white-owned
should white
businesses
should whiteies
and
still
stuff
be
like
allowed
that.
to own businesses, right?
I mean, I'm tempted to say
No.
no.
It's just
I mean,
what have they done with what have they done with this opportunity? We let them own businesses, we let them run the country, and what did they do? They get us in they get us in all this national debt. They give us Donald J. Trump. I mean, you heard of him? That guy sucked. I hate
Don't
that guy.
remind me now. The nightmare is over. Let's not bring any sort of traumatic memories.
The nightmare
We've
is
got
over.
Joe Biden now.
Nightmare is
Everyone is safe. We're happy. The world is at peace.
Yeah. Gosh, the world is supposed to be at peace now, but it doesn't feel like it. I mean, if
I
you
know it's just part of me. He's still there in my brain. He's still there. The orange tyrant.
Sure,
He
sure,
still has a
sure.
place in my
and
brain.
it seems like we could try to escape the orange tyrant, but his minions will still find us. I mean, have you been the people who've been harassing us lately are these Wall Street boys, these stalkers, these Reddit guys. I mean, what is your thoughts on this Reddit thing? I think it's about time that they give the money back, right? What are your
Yeah, I
thoughts?
think that this is just. I think it's a case now that they are harassing the hedge funds. They're bullying
Yeah,
them, and they're just being terrible people.
that's a great point, Nev. I could not agree more. I mean, and what did these hedge funds ever do to to these common everyday Wall Street bros, guys? These Wall Street bets. I mean, what should Reddit be responsible for this? Should Reddit take down Wall
Absolutely,
Street bets?
I think Reddit needs to take some responsibility, punish all of the wrongdoers, and hand over their information to the not the police, maybe the defunded police or some social service worker.
Exactly. It does not need to be in the hands of some, white or white adjacent police officer. It needs to be the hands in a reasoned POC. And we don't need Wall Street bets. We don't need any of these sexist Reddit groups telling us, hey, how we're supposed to, do our investments there. Now, are you in the stock market at all?
Oh, I am not. I believe it's a facet of capitalism, and as a starch centrist, I do not believe in capitalism at all. It's a terrible system, and I will not endorse it in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Okay. That's great. That's great. I do see a little hotline thing here. It says there's over 7 million Trump supporters, and most of them are still roaming free. If you see someone say something, now is this an open tip line? Am I right to assume that we are supposed to be calling in every single red hat we see? Is that right?
Yes. So the link there was to Antifa Hotline, if I'm correct
Yeah, I
there.
see it. Yeah, Antifa hotline.
Yeah. So I think that by giving the information to these people over to Antifa Hotline, we are essentially doing a massive service to our society and bringing these wrongdoers to
It's
justice.
beautiful. It's beautiful. Now, can I ask you this, Nev? You have this lawyer's sister, right? Total bombshell,
Yes.
I've heard. Has
Are
she
you objectifying my sister?
has she talked to lawyer Andy at all?
Well, she for some reason so we share the same like a residential
Yeah,
complex in San Francisco, California,
sure.
and in her I'm not usually allowed in, but one time I saw her and I think she has an odd picture of Lawyer Andy hung up on her
Like an
wall.
effigy? Are we speaking about an effigy here, Nev?
No, no, like a poster or such, but I swear that the picture was like half naked or something like that, which is odd. I mean, I wasn't really sure why.
Even woke. I thought woke a banned phrase. I forget now. Is woke a banned phrase?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Somebody
It's
in
just
chat is saying MS Superstar in chat is saying even woke capitalism. I don't even know what
woke
that means.
capitalism. Ask them to
Yeah, clarify,
reiterate that.
please.
What does this person mean?
Yeah, you can't just say something like that without evidence. I'm sorry, Nev, that your sister's obsessed with Andy. It seems like half the people here are, you know.
Yeah, it's just well, my sister seems to have a new male associate every week or so, which is a bit odd.
Does that make you feel uncomfortable, or
Well, sometimes she brings home strange men, and
Yeah.
I can hear funny noises at the night time, and it stops me from
What?
sleeping, and I feel scared. I think that like
Why are you?
the Trump supporters
Why are you?
have come to get me.
Why are you scared, Nev? What's the
Because
matter with
I think that the Trump supporters are coming to get me. I think they're outside the house, so I get frightened and I hide under the bed.
Emma Superstar is saying Neva denounced capitalism. Is he aware that capitalism is now officially "quote unquote" woke?
I don't
I don't think that's
believe so. I
true.
mean, no, capitalism has
Yeah,
always been evil.
capitalism is not
I mean,
woke,
trust us,
guys. Don't start.
we're
Yeah,
journalists. We know
you're
this.
welcome. You're welcome.
I mean, we're journalists, so you don't have to be.
Why does it seem like we have to teach these people such simple concepts? I mean, I remember back. Maybe it's just a difference in the way things were then versus how they are now. But I remember back in the day, everything was so much more, by your bootstraps, right? No, no,
Yeah,
if you wanted
and
to go,
times have changed.
times have changed. I think people have gotten too almost lazy. It's too easy for people nowadays, right? It used to be you'd have to go out there and start your own peaceful protests, but now, it's so easy. There's an official NPC guide to have an effective protest.
Yeah, that's one of my my I would call it my masterpieces, my
You
magnum
wrote this.
opus. Yes, this was one of my older ones. I
Oh,
think from
maybe we
last
could
year, I
skip it
believe.
then.
Skip it.
Oh, no, no, go
Is my
ahead. No,
work
no,
not
go ahead. No,
worthy,
no, go
no?
ahead. No, 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 no. You can present it.
So I take the reader on a wonderful journey here, exploring the themes of the protest and how to make sure that your protest is especially effective.
Dumbledore wouldn't let this happen.
Yeah, I believe that like invoking fictional universes and characters like Dumbledore, for example, I think that by doing that you're really raising a point,
Okay.
and you're essentially kind of you're telling these people that Dumbledore isn't going to do it, so why should you?
So you're saying if Dumbledore supports Black Lives Matter, I should support Black Lives Matter, is what you're telling me. There seems
Yes.
to be some sort of a rhyme, a chant, or a limerick here. Do you mind if I read this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's give this a go here. It says, and I quote here, "Hey hey ho ho, bad orange man has got to go. Repeat for several hours."
Yeah.
Do you how long can you do one of these rhymes or one of these little limericks for?
My record has been 3 hours, I believe.
Equality now. Brave protester risking her lives. Where'd you get these images from, Nev? Are these taken in the field or are these just like Getty images?
Yeah, these were taken in the
Okay.
field. So I've been to many protest
Were
BLM,
you at this
LGBT.
Dumbledore protest? Can you give us more information? What
So I was at the Dumbledore protest.
what was
So there was a guy.
yeah,
Go ahead, Comrade.
well, MF Superstar is accusing you of plagiarizing your little limerick there. Hey hey ho ho, bad orange man has got to go. That's from Nev. Is that original
Well, that
poetry?
person is an idiot.
Okay, great.
I
I'm
do
glad
not
we're talking to
steal
our audience
poetry.
with
All
such.
of my work is completely original.
Okay, okay, Nev. Do you have anything else nice to say to our audience here?
Plagiarism. How dare they?
Okay.
Do they know who they're
Okay,
speaking to?
okay, Nev. Okay, Nev.
I think that this audience member is incompetent.
Okay. We'll move on to the next article here. What's in my protest bag? Now, see, Nev, this will make you feel better, okay? So we'll go through the checklist here, and
Oh, yes.
you tell me which of these ones apply to you, okay? Does that sound fun?
Yes, let's have a
Okay,
look.
so what do you have in your protest bag? Do you never know what to bring to a protest? Don't worry. We did the thinking for you by packing these simple things. You'll be set for any protest. Yeah, obviously, my most important one, that water. Now, how much water do you drink on a daily basis?
I used to drink a lot, but now it's limited. I recently read an article about how water is kind of used as a symbol of like classism, capitalism.
Oh, it's like the
If you go on the
colonials. Well, some places they don't got
kind
no
of,
water.
if you look on the NPC Daily website, there should be a recent article explaining like
I'm gonna look.
the ways water is used to downplay
Sure,
poor
sure.
people.
Because I wasn't showing a bees for the article or anything. Yeah, we'll go to NPC Daily. That's fine. You said
It's just a case of now. It's just we
drinking
have
water
these things,
upholds
and
white supremacy. Is this what you were talking about? Many African
yes,
countries have taken a pledge against drinking water. So what is this? What is this anti-water pledge that people are taking?
yeah. I haven't completely abstained
Have
from
you done
water
the water
myself.
cleanse? Where you just
The
eat
water
dirt?
cleanse. Um,
And have you not tried that
I
one?
have tried that. I have
I
tried
remember
it
that one.
for
That one did
an
wonders. I remember the week after that, my body was just feeling like 100%.
I
After
tried that for about an hour, but then I couldn't go on. I literally vomited.
how much dirt were you eating? No,
I tried a handful, and
that's
then
not
no,
enough.
I couldn't go on.
That's not enough. You need more.
Yeah,
The other important thing
I
to
know.
pack
I
with
know. I'll
you,
have to switch to a dirt-based diet
yeah.
soon.
The other thing important to pack with you on a protest is a light snack. I suggest a small Ziploc baggie of dirt, milk,
Yeah, that's
soy,
a reasonable milk.
soy milk. Yeah, if you can get soy.
Yeah, I was gonna say make sure it's gluten free.
Yeah, gluten-free milk. And if you're this child just looks so cool drinking that milk. Wow, wow. Don't forget your mask, guys. Come on,
Oh, a mask.
come on. This
A
is a
mask is an
BLM
excellent one.
protest. This isn't a Tea Party. What do they call the Tea Party
Like
protests?
I don't know. Probably like a riot or something. I'm not
Riot
sure.
or something? Oh, sure. It's important you also bring, just in case, because you never know what you're going to need at one of these places, like a lighter or something like a lighter for cigarettes or like whatever, you know.
Yeah, I always make sure to bring a lighter with
Yeah.
me.
For more masks, more safety. In fact, 3 or 4 of these fuckers. A couple tea bags, sure. Tools for incidental repairs. Let's say your car breaks down, or you just want to make sure that you pack your antiquity tools here in case there's any incidental repairs or if you need to use the tools for anything else. We disavow it, right? We no violence, but if you got a bike lock, you got a bike lock. Yeah, you need a coat in case it gets cold. We don't want to get hurt here. Spray paint, a couple of mixed drinks. How to turn your protest to a party. Am I right, guys? Your phone, hook up that aux with the Bluetooth.
In case you need to preach the word on Twitter as well.
Hard
say
to
what you
speak
say
when you're teabagging. With 2-for-1 special hobbies, it's called you got hands and a mouth.
Have you noticed like this trend, Norm, of the recently very intelligent 3-year-olds? So what typically happens is someone will say something to the 3-year-old.
It's like a Greta Thunberg thing?
Kind of. So I saw one recently, some celebrity was speaking about Donald Trump, and then the 3-year-old said, "I do not like Donald Trump, he is a fascist." And then apparently the room applauded.
Jazz hands. Yeah.
So, jazz hands.
Wow.
So, yeah, there's a trend of that. Wow. These, like, very intelligent little children have essentially adopted our way. I think that our lessons have become so widespread. Are we going to start
seeing kids-only armies?
I believe we could, actually. I mean, we might be seeing our own, like,
why don't we have kids serve in the military? That's what I've never understood. Like, they got little hands. They have the dexterity. They would do perfectly fine, in a military situation. But it's almost as like I don't know. It feels maybe ableist isn't the right term. It feels ageist.
Ageist?
Yeah.
If you look in parts of Africa, I mean, they're very inclusive.
Parts of Africa,
they allow children to join.
Exactly. Parts of Africa, they have absolutely no restrictions on letting kids into the military, and they are doing fantastic.
I mean, sometimes they're so inclusive that they make certain to have children in the military. They won't go without them. Sometimes they prefer them over adults.
Exactly. That's cheaper. That's efficiency. How long does it take to pop a kid out and get him ready to serve? I'm saying, like,
exactly.
We do it in 18 years. There's some places they can do it in 5. And I'm just saying we're losing from this efficiency here. We're falling behind here in the global. And that's one of the things about understanding being a globalist. We need to understand the future is if they raise their kids one way in Africa, maybe that's the way we should be raising them here.
Exactly.
Exactly. We were just talking about kids, being put into service in the military. Have we ever thought about maybe having these kids start their own protests? What about a toddler's protest? They know how to scream.
Exactly, yeah. I think they'd be very efficient protesters.
They start teaching them some BLM chants. Emma Superstar says older people are more likely to be right-wing, therefore children are intellectually superior. That's a good point.
That's just common sense.
Get owned. We have another article here. This one goes out to the kids. I wrote this 3 years ago, apparently. So you want to organize your very own protest. The most important thing for a protest, Nev, location. You got to pick a spot. How many protests have you been to now, Nev? You've been to a lot now. And you're doing
I have been to hundreds of protests. So many protests over the last 4 years, Norm. I mean, if you even count like the at-home protests I've done where I've just screamed out my window, I mean, you're approaching maybe 1,000 protests.
Did you ever, with the screaming out the window thing, I know that you were getting some pushback for that. Did you ever manage to get your fascist neighbor reported to the police and to the postal service like you were meaning to? You did.
Unfortunately, I have put in so many complaints. It's got to a point now where I was fined for a noise complaint. Apparently, so the fascist police,
Wait, are you for real?
I was fined.
You?
Yes, I was fined.
You, the person doing what is a peaceful protest, were fined.
Exactly. I was fined $50 for a noise complaint.
That just makes me want to screech uncontrollably
I know.
for like at least 20 minutes.
I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
It is absolutely ridiculous here. It is absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, I should have the right to scream out of my window.
Yeah.
At 11 o'clock in the evening.
Now, can I ask you this? When you were screaming out your window, did you ever get anybody joining in here? You ever get anybody to show up and scream with
I may have got like some dogs joining in, barking really loudly, but that was about it.
Oh wow!
The only other noise I could hear was the neighbors shouting, "Shut up!"
You were part of a trans species protest here. Wow.
Yes, I was. I may have heard some cats meowing very loudly as well. So it was a case of animals from all
Wow, it
sorts
was
of
like you're
species.
like you're like the next Snow White, like drawing these animals out from the woods, and then making them protest with you. Oh my God! So I
Exactly.
do
I
want to
mean,
warn people. I know there's going to be some kids watching right now, and they saw our thing. They're like, "Hey, I want to be a part of I want to be part of the army in Congo. How do I get involved? I want to be able to start these protests here at home in the United States. How do I get involved? What are the downsides? I do want to warn people. Sometimes these things can get a little bit wild, right, Nav? Can we say that?
yes.
Sometimes people show up, it gets crazy. So, a few more people showed up than RSVP'd. And, not only you don't have enough Kool-Aid, but some of the supporters you invited here, it seems like they're going a little crazy. Sometimes you get some alt-right infiltrators, some violent actors who get in here.
I think it's just a case of a
I
protest.
don't think
It's like
most of them
a
can speak
protest
or
is like a party.
it's like a party, yeah.
Things can get a little wild and a bit
Yeah,
crazy.
like sometimes, every now and then, and this just happens. Like, I don't even think we need to stigmatize this. If this happens at your protest, guys, don't worry about it. It happens.
No,
Sometimes
you should
the
have
riot
seen
police
Dustin
show
at the
up.
last protest. Like, wow, Dustin he got hammered in the last one.
Yeah, he got hammered. Sometimes the riot police show up, and you gotta get down. The fuzz came by, and maybe there's some tear glass. I have this great DIY blindfold that you can make from bandanas or any flags, right?
Yeah.
The police guys, Biden police are your friends, right? So just stay as far away from them as possible. And it's especially far away from them if they seem like they're having a bad day. Prayer this is the time to pray to Allah, really, if you see the riot, please. But
I mean, it helps if you bring some soy shakes as well,
yeah.
if you can give the soy shakes to the officers.
or a nice refreshing Pepsi Cola.
Oh, yeah, I've seen some
There's
of the
nothing
adverts
I
for that.
like more than a nice refreshing Pepsi Cola from Burger King.
Are we sponsored by Pepsi today, Non?
No.
Oh, it's just I remember we were sponsored by Google, I think, in one of the last episodes.
Oh yes, we are still sponsored. Thank you, Google, for keeping us hosted here. Now, have you ever? What do you think the craziest riot or protest you've ever been to has been, and what was it like just the days afterwards?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that I was at the Capitol Hill protest,
Mm-hmm.
riot. So I was just doing my job as a
Yeah,
journalist, just trying to report.
protecting freedom, protecting
Yeah, because
you know
it,
the national
just
monument.
decency.
I heard is this
Exactly.
true that you stood guard outside AOC's door to make sure that no one could come for her feet or her socks? Like you were
Yeah,
standing
so
outside guard outside of her wardrobe or something, right?
yeah, so I was in the Capitol to go to Joe Biden's inauguration. So I've been staying there for about like a week or so. And when I heard the news of this going on, I knew for instantly that they were going to go for AOC. So I sprinted down. I got to her office,
And you protected her drawers.
and I think it was because of my efforts that exactly yes. Nobody came in.
No one
funnily
took her
enough.
underwear.
I mean, I was
Is
quite
that
surprised.
true?
I thought
You
nobody.
you
I mean, well, I think somebody might have, but it wasn't one of the protesters, well, the rioters. So it was
okay, I understand. And is this correct? You had eyes on the prize the whole time, right?
Yeah, so I think I may have had a look through just to check that they were
So wanted to check the
protected and
contents.
so on. Yeah, I may have had to take one home just to make sure that it was all
Just a
okay.
sock or
No comment. But yeah, I mean it was all good shape. I left a note saying that yeah, your drawers, your socks are very nice. You have no reason to be concerned. Everything is safe.
AOC is a 20 off the scale. Let's talk about picking up the pieces here. It's over. And dust settles. You've made it to the next day. It was a long night, but nevertheless, you persisted. Now you're left to pick up the pieces, collect any signs that you want to hang in your dorm wall. Tweet about the protest. Did you tweet AOC telling her that her stuff was safe here, Nav?
So my Twitter account has been banned since, so I was unable to,
Darn.
which is why I had to leave a note.
You had to leave a note. That's understandable. Gosh. Well, I think she'll understand. I think she'll understand, man.
I've not. I put my phone number, my email
You did
address,
all that.
everything, and for some reason she
She
still
hasn't got
hasn't
it.
gotten back to
Doesn't
me
get it
yet.
back. Did you? Did you?
I mean, I literally put in "call me."
Mm-hmm.
I hope we can go out sometime. Dinner's on me. But for some reason she didn't answer
She
back,
didn't
and
seem
I'm still
receptive
waiting.
to that.
Yeah, I mean she's probably busy, so I reckon give it a little bit longer.
Yeah. Speaking about AOC here, according to a Ted Poos scroll, according to a Ted Cruz poll, uh, apparently he may have a sexually. Is this true? Never. You were
Wow,
watching the drawers. It's no secret.
I mean
We
AOC wasn't
we
in the
have to
room at the
trust.
time,
We have to
so
trust AOC. Is that the whole thing?
yeah, so AOC wasn't in the room with me at the
I
time,
know,
so I think it's
of
possible
course. You were watching.
that
You were watching her office while she was off like 2 blocks away, right? So we know
yeah,
AOC is safe, which is good.
I mean it's possible Ted Cruz may have prowled around at the neighborhood that time and
You said
burst
that.
in.
Wait a second. Wait, Nev. A minute ago, you said that maybe some of her stuff went missing. Do you think that Ted Cruz is a dirty panty thief?
Yes, I do. Yes, there couldn't have been anyone else who took
Can
it.
I ask you this? Can I ask you this, Nev? Are we talking underwear or socks? What did he steal?
I think he when I did the inspection before I left, I'm fairly certain it was an underwear that went missing.
Oh
I
my god,
think,
what a fucking monster! If it was socks, I would have understood, right?
yeah.
If it was,
But it seems like he went the full way.
gosh, how are people just so generally rotten, Nev?
I don't know. I mean, I'm glad that there's journalists with good
Yeah,
natures and good hearts like us who would never do such a
who would
thing.
defend,
Never, ever.
who would defend beautiful women like AOC, who should not be judged based on what she looks like, right? But still a
Yeah,
very beautiful
yeah.
woman.
Very wonderful. Never mind. Ignore me.
You okay, Nev?
Yeah. I'm just thinking of AOC
AOC, okay.
is all. Yeah.
You feeling a little bit of post-victory ego death here, Nev? Did we talk about this one already?
We might have done, but it's well worth going
Oh,
through it. I
okay.
mean, Beesford articles are excellent caliber.
We won. How do you feel after we won, Nev? Because I know a lot of people felt kind of dejected after we won. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it was like you had this wonderful burst of the euphoria, and then it got to a point where you felt. I don't know if did, but I felt purposeless, which is why I went on that lesbian
Yeah.
yoga retreat.
We spent over a year assuring that Biden's victory was inevitable here, and then we won. It was the end of the road. Passions for the cause soon drifted, and most of us sort of reached this climax, both proverbial and non-proverbial here. You know, and of course, this is when I brought out everybody's favorite show, Norm at Night. Can't forget about the Casey Jones. Also, I gotta say, journalists are really spiritual warriors. I think that's something to live by.
Exactly. I mean, it's hard being a journalist. I mean,
Hmm.
what with crying
The
nearly
what would
daily, having
what would the crushing weight of the
insults.
entire universe on your shoulders, right?
Exactly. I mean, the fate of the world lies in our hands.
Yeah, and it's scary sometimes. It's scary knowing. But now we have Biden in office. Now we have the ace in the hole, man.
Yeah, we can sit back now. We've done our part. And all we need to do is just make sure that everything Biden says, his truths, his preachings, his beliefs,
Mhm.
we put that out there and we save people from
We save
destruction.
people's lives now. We save people's souls, even. You know,
Yes. We are the light that will deliver them from evil.
and people. Why do you think people? Why do you think we get pushback when we tell people that essentially their whole lives have been awful and they've been making terrible choices?
Well, they cannot handle the truth. I mean, we tell them how useless and stupid and blatantly foolish they've been
Hmm.
throughout their entire lives. And it's only when they kind of hear what we say and acknowledge that they can go on and fix themselves. And I think they lash out at us because they can't lash out themselves.
Whoa, I think you're right. I think you make a really good point here. Labor Day is one of those holidays where I made I made the article. I explained why everyone should stop celebrating. People freaked out at me. They're like, "Hey, this is my one day off. Let me have my day off." But do people not realize the dark history behind Labor Day? It was made as
What would you the dark history now?
it was made by these sort of robber barons in order to distract people from everybody's favorite holiday, May Day. You know, May Day being a fantastic holiday started by everyone's favorite Marxists here. And the real issue with Labor Day is who really gets the day off. Is it really these workers who get the day off, or is it, you know,
No,
these
it's their
fat
capitalist
cat?
overlords.
Yeah, exactly. It's capitalist overlords. And all with this COVID crisis, it's just too late, I think, to be having a Labor Day. I think we should just get rid of it this year. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, it's a case of we need to make sure and spread the word that people do not celebrate this day. They act as normal.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. I could not agree more. I could not agree more now. Do we have any other stories you want to cover here today, this morning?
There was something about Dr. Fauci, I believe.
Dr. Phil.
No, Dr. Fauci.
Where was this? I'll go find it.
I can't remember what it was, but apparently Dr. Fauci used to visit gay bars in the 80s to see if they were spreading
Oh,
HIV.
I've heard about this. I heard that apparently is it true that he was spotted recently at gay bars making sure that they're following COVID standards? I heard he was essentially going around with a wet wipe swabbing everything.
Yeah, so apparently Dr. Fauci was apparently was spending a lot of time with big muscular men in particular,
Wow.
checking that they were following the rules, the
That's
regulations, and
brave.
so on.
That was very brave of him.
Yeah, I mean, some people are saying that like he was there for other reasons, but I just don't see
Like
why
what?
else Dr. Fauci would be there. I mean, I don't know, but
What are they
I
saying?
mean, why else would Dr. Fauci? Well, they were claiming that Dr. Fauci is a member of the LGBT community.
And what would be wrong if he was?
No, of course not. I just don't see why they would accuse Dr. Fauci of that. I mean, he was just being he was doing his job as a
Well,
scientist.
there are those rumors from back in the day, right?
What do you mean by that, no?
Well, this isn't the first time that he's went on location to inspect gay bars, right? Not that there's anything
Yeah,
wrong with
true.
that, you know. I think gay bars
I
should be the
believe
only
that
bars that
some
are allowed to be open, in my opinion.
yeah, I mean, why should we all straight
Yeah,
bars?
exactly.
They don't
Fauci
let
was
gay
protecting
people
our
in.
most vulnerable.
I mean, we should have straight bars shut down. I mean, I just don't see why anyone wouldn't go
Gay
to a
bars
gay bar.
only.
Exactly. I
If,
mean,
if you won't go to a gay bar, you're a fascist. Was that the last story, Nev? Can we end the show?
exactly. I mean, I'm in favor of opening journalist-approved.
Exactly. Open
Yes, I
journalist
believe
approved
that
gay
was the
bars.
last story now.
I think we should. That was the last story? I think we should open journalist approved gay bars. Open them up
I believe
on the
so. I
border.
don't think we had.
Open borders, open gay bars. That's what I've always said.
Exactly.
Open borders, open gay bars.
Exactly. I mean, I couldn't think of a more brilliant idea.
I think that's a great way to end the episode. Thanks everybody for watching. This has been NNN News. Nev, do you want to say goodbye to our lovely viewing audience there?
Yes. Stay strong. Stay black.
Stay black. Okay, this